There are some stories that speak in silence. This one is about a sister and the 11 brothers she loved so deeply. She was willing to suffer in silence just to save them. Let me tell you the tale of the wild swans. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king with 12 children, 11 sons and one daughter. The sons were brave and bright. The daughter, Elisa, was gentle and pure with eyes like the morning sky. They lived happily, playing in the royal gardens, telling stories, and dreaming under the stars. But happiness has enemies. One day, the king remarried. His new queen was beautiful, but her heart was cold as stone. She was a sorceress, and she despised the children, especially Elisa. She began with lies, whispers, and tricks, turning the king's heart away. Then one dreadful day, she cast a terrible spell on the 11 brothers. She turned them into wild swans. They flew away, their cries echoing in the air, their sister watching in horror as feathers replaced hands, and her brothers vanished into the clouds. The queen sent Elisa far away to a distant village where no one knew her name. But Elisa never fought. Every night she dreamed of her brothers. Every day she wandered the woods, listening to the wind, hoping for a sign. And one twilight evening, under a sky streaked with orange and gold, she saw them, 11 white swans, soaring in a V formation above the trees. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the swans landed near her, and right before her eyes they transformed. One by one, feathers turned into hands, beaks to smiles, and there stood her 11 brothers, human once more, but only for the night. For at sunrise, they would turn back into swans. They embraced her with tears and laughter, their voices full of longing. "Dear sister," said the eldest, "we can only take human form at night. A powerful curse binds us, but we have heard that there is a way to break it." The brothers led Elisa to a hidden glade deep in the forest. "There is a way," said the eldest, "but it is full of pain and silence. You must gather nettles, those sharp, stinging plants, and spin them into yarn with your own hands. Then sew 11 shirts for each of us. Only then will the curse be broken." Elisa nodded, determined. "There is one more thing," he added gently. "From the moment you begin until the very last shirt is finished, you must not speak a single word, not a cry, not even a whisper. If you do, the spell will remain forever." Elisa looked at her brothers. She thought of the gardens, the laughter, the lullabies they once shared, and without hesitation she agreed. Elisa found a cave to live in. She gathered stinging nettles with bare hands, tears streaming down her cheeks from the pain. She spun by moonlight, saved by starlight. She spoke to no one. When strangers passed, she said nothing. When children laughed nearby, she smiled but stayed silent. Seasons passed. Her hands were raw, her hair entangled, but her heart never wavered. One day, a young king rode through the woods and found her. He was enchanted by her quiet strength. He brought her to his palace, gave her soft clothes and warm food, but she still said nothing. He asked her to be his queen. She nodded silently. And though she did not speak, he married her, trusting her grace. But not everyone understood her silence. The king's advisers grew suspicious. "Why does she never speak?" they whispered. "She came from the forest. She plays with nettles. She must be a witch." The whispers turned into accusations. Elisa, still sewing her final shirt, could not defend herself. And so the king torn between love and duty, was forced to follow the law. She was to be tried and punished. Her punishment, death at sunrise. On the night before her execution, she was led to the city square. The people jeered. The fire was being built. Elisa clutched a bundle of rough shirts, the last one still unfinished, and then a sound in the sky. Wings, feathers. The swans came, sweeping through the clouds and landing beside her. Without a word, she threw the shirts over each one by one. They transformed into men. Except the youngest, his shirt had no left sleeve. One wing remained in place of an arm, but the spell was broken. In that moment, Elisa's voice returned. She turned to the crowd and cried, "I am innocent." Everyone shocked. The fire was put out. The king wept with joy. Elisa and her brothers were free. The people once afraid now stood in awe. The king knelt beside her. "You suffered so much, and still you never gave up." She looked at her brothers, then at him, and smiled. "No love is greater than the one that asks for nothing in return," she said. And so, the silent girl who never stopped stitching hope into every thread became not just a queen, but a legend.